Hi, it's Kithman, and I'm back for another Star Trek Online newbie-ish guide video. Now, the subject of this is gearing up, and the main reason for it is if you've created a character for the first time and you're playing through, you'll find, as long as you're not taking the difficulty level up to advanced or elite anyway, that yeah, you might die once or twice on a mission, but generally, going through the episodes, you're not going to die lots and lots. You're not going to be stuck in any sort of death loop. Well, to start with, anyway. What you'll find though is you sort of plateau when you get up towards level 65, or in terms of the episodes, probably, if you're just going through them in order, sometime maybe around the arc in the Delta arc, the Delta Quadrant arc here, and you'll start to get missions where you start to wonder, why am I having so much trouble? Why am I dying all the time here? I could deal with people no problem. I could deal with ground missions, I could deal with the space missions. And if you were to look online, to watch videos in general, or if you were to look on websites, go to, I don't know, Reddit or wherever, you can find lots of advice about, here's a build, even builds that you can do which are totally free to play, don't cost any money. The problem is, they're designed for characters that, while yes, they may be free to play, but have played for some time. So they rely on stuff that doesn't take money to acquire, necessarily, but takes time to acquire. And a good example here is all the stuff from Reputation. So if we quickly look at Reputation, you'll see I'm basically tier 2 in every Reputation. If it's your first character, each day you can run the Discovery Legends Daily, or whichever rep it is, Task Force Omega Daily, and so on. Each one of those gives you 2,500 reputation. So as you see, I've been doing the reputation for 6 days on this character so far. And that's enough to get me to tier 2. Tier 3, 32.5. Tier 4, 60,000. Tier 5, 100,000. Tier 6, 250,000 reputation. So, without anything else to affect it, it's going to be 100 days to get to tier 6 in a reputation. And that's where you're actually getting quite a bit of the stuff that's recommended in these builds. So you're getting things like a fleet module that lets you actually get a fleet. It can go towards getting a fleet ship. A gear discount, i.e. making the gear cheaper to get across the account. Alternate energy weapon types for weapons available at lower levels in this set, and so on. And that's why, even though a lot of the free-to-play guides are, they are free-to-play, but they're not necessarily for beginners, because it takes the time to get there. So, this guide, sort of is talking about gearing up. It's not necessarily going to be the best gear that you're going to be wanting to be using all the way through, but it's how to go from the basic, this is just stuff I've picked up as I've gone along, to something where, oh bugger, I'm dying every single time in this mission. Without, sort of to get over that hump. So there's not going to be any reputation gear in there at all. Because even the low level gear, and there is some low level gear that is good to get. You'll see, for example, this dark matter quantum torpedo is often a recommended piece of gear. The problem is to get that, where is it? Dark Matter and Quantum Torpedo. These are the requirements. 30,000 energy credits. That's not going to be a problem for any character. 15,000 dilithium. Shouldn't be a problem for any character. 500 discovery marks. That's where it starts to get a bit harder. I've actually got them, but big reason why I do have them is because I'm a temporal agent character and they get bonus marks as they're leveling up. I think you get something like a total of 500 marks with every single reputation before you open up any of the mark boxes you get as a temporal agent as well. So that part is often hard for new characters. And 2 Spore Canisters, which are these things here. There's a number of ways you can get them. There's actually an upgrade that gets you one, but that is a daily task and requires 100 marks again. So if you're using that to get it, that would be a total of 700 marks needed just to get that one piece of equipment. Or the other way, the other 2 ways actually. One other way is by doing task force operations for that give discovery marks at advanced or elite level, but that's not something you're going to be doing solo. Or pure luck. When you do this daily here, you get a box which generally tends to have equipment of some sort in, depending on the reputation primarily. But there's a small chance you can get one of these Spore Canisters or the equivalent for other reputations. So for 8472 it's an isomorphic injection, Task Force Omega, it's a Borg neural processor, and so on. But that's basically how you can get them. So that's why we're not going to cover reputations. Now, that does still leave 2 avenues for getting gear. The first avenue actually is how I got this nice big cannon, which if you watch Lower Decks you may recognise. Yes, it is basically Shaq's cannon from that. You can actually buy this from the Lobby store, which, well, it goes against the whole point of this. But the way I actually got mine was Steel Series had a promo code. If you're using their software for your mice or keyboard or whatever, you can just go into that and get a gift code to get this and a couple of other bits and pieces. And there are various other gift codes if you search around on the internet. There's a similar one for the Temporal Agent pack, which gets you a couple of ships, one of which is a T6 Temporal Battlecruiser, for example. Those sort of things aren't guaranteed, but it's worth looking out to see if there are any. They're generally relatively easy to find. I'll include the details of the Temporal Battlecruiser one in the description of this video. You need to sign on to, I think it's Crucial Games to get it. But the Shaq's one, it's basically a case of if you've got the Steel Series software, you can just go into that and it's got an option to get free stuff basically for various games, and one of the games is Star Trek Online. You can get this cannon, but you can't guarantee that for everything. I mean, the cannon is certainly worthwhile. It's one of the better weapons. You'll see people using it even at the high end, so you know, certainly that is one of the nice upgrades you can get. But the other main way of getting gear is actually missions, but not just running, you know, sort of any mission, but running specific missions multiple times. So let's just have a look through and find a good one.
One way or another,
This is probably a good example. It's not necessarily the best example in here, or the definite you really want this, but it's a good example of something that can benefit. So you've got, choose one of the following when you do this mission: defense deflector, defense impulse engine, defense covariant shield array. The thing is you can run a mission multiple times and pick a different one of these each time. And if you look, they say they are part of the part of set desperate defences. Similarly, if we look at Butterfly, it was but.
The research teams in the Kiana system require your assistance.
I might need to close that for it to properly refresh. Yeah, there we go.
They have been running thousands of temporal incursion simulations of how to use the Crinim weapon.
So again, you've got
officer with field experience to evaluate the project in its
a different set of
you will participate in a focused test
options here. Again, it's a you've got stuff that's part of a set, and so on, and that's what you tend to get at higher levels. Another good example: temporal front.
The data from the future you've provided has made it clear.
It's got the cool temporal optive armor, the cool temporal optive personal shield, and the cool temporal optive assault Mark 12.
This could be the beginning of a new.
Now, one thing I will say, whenever you're replaying a mission, whether you're replaying it to get gear, or to complete an endeavour, or just for the hell of it, or because you're helping a friend or whatever, you'll always tend to have this at the bottom: current lockbox. Never, ever pick that, because you can get them for free, basically. So don't bother. Now, what sort of gear? I'm going to show you what gear I've gone for and give you an idea where it came from. But don't take that as read. I mean, it depends on what sort of ship you're using, what sort of weapons you're already using, and so on. So don't take this as gospel. So I've got the portable phaser cannon special issue, or the Shax cannon as it's often referred to by players. I've also got a second weapon, and it's one that I mentioned just now. It's the Nicole Temporal Operative Assault Mark 12. I never actually use this per se, it just sits there in the second weapon slot you have on your main character. Now if I look at the more details, the reason why it's there is I've actually got two pieces of it, because I've also got the personal shield, and if I've got two pieces of the set, I get a benefit, and in this case it gives 2% extra critical chance, 30% critical severity, which is pretty good. But I don't have to actually be using that weapon. As long as it's in my second weapon slot, it will count for the set bonus to apply. And I've also got the shield, which I've actually upgraded. And the thing you'll note as well with set items, it doesn't really apply so much for personal gear, but for ship gear it does. They all tend to say cannot equip more than one of this item. So if it's part of a set, you can't go, especially if it's say a gun, you can't go getting 4, 6 or whatever of that weapon for this ship. So here's an example here. I've got the Quantum Phase dual heavy cannons. Now they're quite a good weapon anyway. You see it does 389.5 DPS, so slightly less than that one, on a par with that one, on a par with that one. So it's about, you know, sort of average DPS as is. But again, if I go to more details, it's in a set. This is in the Quantum Phase Catalyst set. So I get 15% accuracy, doubles the potency of quantum phase weapons shield drain, doubles the potency of quantum phase high yield torpedo shield heal. Obviously, I've not got a quantum phase high yield torpedo, so that last bit isn't relevant. But it makes the shield drain more effective. If we look up here, it drains a chunk. It's got a chance of draining a chunk from enemy shields to restore my shields. And the other part of that is a universal console. And the universal console means it can go in any one of these slots, but I've put it in the science slot. And this adds 20% phaser damage, so you can see why it's quite a good one to have. It's not as good as a all-out phaser relay, for example, but then again, because it's universal, it can go in a non-tactical slot, so it's quite beneficial. Now, as I said, this sort of stuff tends to come from missions. You can also get set gear in the lockbox from the exchange, in the lobbies from lockboxes, sometimes via the exchange as well. But a lot of it at this level, it's going to be coming from missions. So, as I said,
the data from the future you've provided
the Nakul,
we need to
shield, and assault, that comes from
to that end, we're sending delegates
Temporal Front, part of the future-proof arc.
The beginning of
if you're playing this with a temporal agent character, all the story, all the episodes down to future-proof, those are the ones that need to be completed or give benefits on completion as a temporal agent. The final few, these ones down here, don't. So you've got an added reason to be going through these anyway. Now, I think it was one of the Iconian War missions.
We know that attacks from the Iconian forces are imminent. Their gateway technology means that...
No, not that one.
Captain Tom Paris has
It's not
requested
that
your
one.
ship
No,
for a joint
because
mission with his task force. I won't lie.
Delta Flight
We're not
is... No, I can't remember. It will come back to me, I'm sure, as soon as I finish this.
deep in Iconian territory.
This is a nice one to run multiple times,
Successful. It has
simply
a chance of
because
turning the tide of the
you
war
got a number
in
of
our
traits
favor. Report
available.
to the Nasia system. We have a lead on the Krinim. Voyager went to Krinim space looking for them a few months ago.
Temporal Flux Generator is quite useful. Basically,
And some anomalous sensor readings.
it's a
Now,
"oh
found a
damn"
monkey selling
button
what claims are
in
Krinim
ground combat.
artifacts.
It gives you 5 seconds of just total immunity. You can't do anything else, but it's good for just getting away
Trail where it leads.
from somewhere or something like that.
It's the one way or another, the war is
Assault
today.
defense set. So, was it Broken
Please
Circle?
report to the Kiana system. Our partnership with the Krinim is starting to
Yeah.
bear fruit. But
Broken
the
Circle has the Delta Alliance reinforcement beacon.
we must consider
Very
the
good
plan that ensures
item to have for space combat. It basically brings in 3 ships that can help you in combat for 45 seconds. The important thing is as well for this is it can just be in your inventory. It doesn't take a device slot on the ship. See, I don't have anything in the device slots there at the moment, but it would still be available if I wanted to do that.
Admiral Tuvok and Captain Kim are leading the analysis of the
There's nothing
We're about to plan an attack on
set-wise
our home world.
there.
We've detected significant temporal activity in the Glorndon core system, circa the 23rd century.
So yeah,
There's been a temporal disturbance in the 27th
basically,
century. It's happening in the Lurs system.
you're probably not going to have a full set of purple gear by the time you hit level 65. But at least just getting that, which as you see, you can get
Sphere builders have been conducting operations in other universes.
things for pretty much everything. I mean, there's a
But in other dimensions as well.
example here actually.
There are experiments in the parallel universe
Plus 20% cannon damage. Now, I've got a cannon pre-fire chamber at the moment,
Need to travel to
but
the reality
it's only a 17.5%. So again, I can get that for another 2.5% damage, phaser damage, or cannon damage more accurately, and so on. It does require a bit of looking through. There's no way to avoid that. Romulan operative set is another set you can get, and there's nothing to stop you putting sets on your bridge crew if you're playing solo that that join you on the ground. That again is going to help. But yes, there's a lot of things here. You'll find, Solanae has some stuff as well, but it's about Solanae roughly, I think. Towards the end of the Solanae arc, you start getting the sets appearing. These earlier missions don't really tend to have any set stuff, and that's where you can just get that little bit extra benefit by effectively having synergies. You don't have to get every piece in a set. Just have a look, sort of, is it something that's going to overall just improve things slightly? And that's what we're looking for. We're not looking for, woohoo, this is the best piece of gear ever, I'm going to keep this forever. Generally, you're not going to find that at this sort of level. There's going to be more work involved to get that, but you're at least going to be able to start improving things slightly, just to get out of that loop of you can find yourself in of, I just keep dying on this, and you can't get out of it. I mean, I've got past it pretty much now, and I've not got any reputation gear yet or anything like that. So hopefully this has been some advice. I mean, as I say, I've not said, oh yes, this is the thing you've got to go for. I've just given you the tools so you can, and the awareness so you know to go and look and run some missions multiple times. Yes, I know it can be a bit of a pain, but it's worth it in the long run, trust me. Anyway, hopefully you found that of some use, and I'll let you get on with your day. Catch you later.